Hey, welcome to the Wealth Agenda with your host, Tania Brielle Mabry. I am very excited to share with you guys an extended interview with my financial coach, insurance magnate, guru of all things, Kensley Dougan. Thank you so much for coming to the show. He is the founder of the Theo Group. So I have questions for you. You ready?
I have a lot of answers.
All right,
so
let's do it. Okay. So the first question I have is just at a baseline. What is the relationship between insurance and wealth?
Insurance is a cornerstone of any type of wealth accumulation or wealth, period. It's been around for hundreds of years. Not everyone knows how to maximize it. So it could, turn into wealth. But it's one of the financial tools that I use the most to create wealth and infuse wealth with a lot of the families that I work with currently.
You came out with the SAT words. You said cornerstone. I usually hear that at church. Jesus is the cornerstone. So how can people use insurance in order to build wealth? Like, what's a tangible example?
A tangible example. I'll give you a story, especially when I first started into the business. It was a family. The mom came to me saying that, hey, I want to do my estate plan. I want to make sure that I have the maximum amount of insurance possible to make sure that my family will be financially stable if I happen to expire.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a few years passed, and then I got a phone call from the beneficiary, which was her daughter, that said that her mom passed away and it's time to cash in on this death claim. At this point in time in my career, I didn't really fully believe in insurance until I put in that death claim and I received $1 million check that I had to hand deliver to my client.
Ooh.
That is when a light bulb went off in my mind. I said, one, I'm doing amazing work, helping people financially be stable, continue their lives without any kind of financial missteps or woes. And then lastly, yes, I know you rather have that individual there. I know the daughter was sad that her mom has passed, but financially she was taken care of.
And that's so important because I feel like, especially in our community, people are always skeptical, right? People always think that certain things are a scheme or a scam and, I don't need insurance and that type of thing. So when you see it tangibly that someone created $1 million in generational wealth by using insurance, that is so powerful. So powerful. So what are the top types of insurance that you see people purchasing when they work with you?
So I'll give you the top three. Number one is term, because that's the most inexpensive policy that's out there that will give you the most amount of coverage, right? But there's no value in term outside of the death benefit. The second one is, which I personally think is one of the most powerful tools, financial tools out there, period, and that's whole life insurance.
Okay.
And the one that I also like, the second most, in my personal opinion, is index universal life insurance.
Okay. And why do you like that one the most?
Because the index, or they call it IUL, it gives you the ability to have your cash value invested into the market.
Okay.
So you get to invest into an index where at the end of the year, if the index does well, your cash value will do well. On the flip side, if the index does not do well and there is a negative return, luckily enough, within this policy, there's a floor of 0. So you could do no worse than 0.
Okay.
So in my mind, that's only upside potential. If the market doesn't do well, I take a year off where it's no growth. But the flip side, the next year, normally there's a rebound in the market or in that index, and I'll get to receive that interest in my cash value to give me more growth than I'll receive in a whole life policy.
That's a very powerful tool. Now, when you talk to your family, right, let's bring it, about insurance, how do they respond?
Well, first with my family, they're going to support me in what I do.
Okay.
Right? But once I started to educate them as to how these vehicles work and how they will work in the future, they're all on board.
Okay.
Between my sisters, my mom, my nieces and nephews, they all have policies.
That's powerful. I thought you were going to tell me about that one uncle who just was like over it. You're like, nope, I'm closing everybody in my family. We're all doing that. That's correct. Amazing. What has been your biggest challenge when it comes to getting people insured and getting policies in place?
You started off by saying that, being misunderstood and not people looking at it like, hey, you're trying to get over on me. When in all actuality, the biggest hurdle is the educational piece and the trust piece, right? Like, hey, I'm seeing other people do this. It's been done years, hundreds of years in the past, and people continue to do it now. But we have to get to a place where we are understanding that this is something that we need to have. And when I say something we need to have, yes, you get it from your employer. You need to have it supplemental as well. Because if you lose that job, you lose those benefits, right? So you want to insure yourself. So that's one. The second thing is people waiting too late and having a lot of health ailments take its course before they actually get insured. And 9 times out of 10, they may be uninsurable or they're paying something that's unfavorable as far as rates are concerned because of their health.
That's 2 really great nuggets. 1, make sure you get a supplemental policy. Don't go to the default. And 2, get your insurance as early as possible.
Correct.
I love that. I love that you're reinforcing that.
I'll say also you want to get as much as you can as early as possible.
Okay.
So you could lock in that insurability and when I mean lock in your insurability, if your health changes while you're insured, that's not going to affect when you convert that, let's say, term into a permanent policy, either a whole life or IUL, and you'll be able to now have that same health rating that you did in the past, even though you had some kind of health change.
All right. So I'm going to go take my good health, my good blood pressure, and go give me that 10 million.
Yes.
I need that 10 million. Slide that over. Okay. All right. I'll remember that. Actually, I'm going to call you so we can do that.
No problem.
I still have good blood pressure, so might as well do it right now.
Yep.
And so one thing that I've noticed, right, is that sometimes people understand the need for car insurance. They understand the need for home insurance. But when it comes to life insurance, sometimes there just seems to be a little bit of a disconnect. Why do you think that is? Like, why don't people attach to life insurance the same way they do other types of insurance?
Because they don't see it, feel it. It's not really something that's talked about, unfortunately. And I'm going to do you one better. So just like how you said, people will get car insurance, right? And if you get car insurance, you'll like if you get into an accident, you'll like your car to be 100% replaced, right?
Correct.
If your house burns down, you will like 100% replacement, correct?
Correct.
So in 2 areas people really kind of overstep or not pay attention to. Income, disability income is one. If you happen to lose your income due to some kind of health ailment, would you like your income to be 100% replaced, correct?
Yes, because my mortgage wants 100% of their payments.
Exactly. And now if you expire before your children, before your spouse, before your whatever, wouldn't you like your income at the time to be 100% replaced if you're no longer around?
Yes.
So those are the things that I try to instill in my clients so they understand, like, hey, it's best to put the products in place now. And if anything happens, you're taken care of. Your family's taken care of.
That's such a powerful analogy, right? Like your house burns down, you don't want half a house. If you get in a car accident, you can't, be riding dirty with a half of a car, that's not going to work. So you need to have enough life insurance that can maintain your lifestyle even after you pass, right? Because you've been using, I know that's an official term. It sounds so, fancy. Expire. Well, thank you so much, Kensley. We appreciate you for coming out, and thank you so much to our viewers. This is the Wealth Agenda with your financial coach and host, Tania Brielle Mabry.